everyone. Welcome back to Make Room 4. I'm Andrea and I'm here with my co-host. For our episode this week, we are going to focus on films, storytelling, our film major, why we chose it, and the rest of what we have to talk about film. You want to start, Burns?
So the first question is, do you watch films on a daily basis?
Honestly, that habit started this year lang. But hindi naman yung religious na watch na as in every single day. I think every other day, I get to watch a film. Every now and then, but not like in a week. Ganon. How about you?
For me, I used to watch a lot of films before quarantine. Actually, even during quarantine. It was my crutch na, it was my comfort zone. I feel good whenever I watch movies. Ever since I was younger, like, that's been my go-to na comfort. You know how when you have a safety blanket, at the end of the quarantine, as I got deeper with God, yun yung inaano ko actually, fina-fast.
Yeah,
Like,
film.
movies.
Watching anything, oo.
I could spend the whole day just doing that. I'm a house buddy person. I don't really like going out. Right now, I haven't been watching a lot of films. I don't watch films on a daily basis anymore. Yeah, that's it. What do films mean to you, Dre?
I can't easily even put into words. It makes me feel something. Because with films, diba, we can relate. Films intrigue me a lot.
For me, the main is family. That's the meaning of it. Kasi I remember every weekend, every Saturday, Sunday, there's a lot of us na magpipinsan. And we would all watch in the movie house every Saturday, Sunday. Sisumutin namin lahat ng pwedeng mapanood for that like week na may whatever movies there are. And when I moved to the US, same thing. Marilyn Chase, she was like my lola in the States. Her business was art. Every day after school, we would go to the Loft. It's this parang local cinema. That's where David Lynch shows his film at the end of his career. He didn't release it to all the cinemas. He just showed it two cinemas, which is one is the Loft and the other one is in LA. Actually, I feel like when you watch my films, you would see yung influence from my childhood of watching films. To me, film is family. It's love, comfort, even if I'm watching horror.
I agree. Film is universal and you can't just say na it's one thing. It's a lot of things and film is also endless. Even for us, we're pursuing it. Na-apply na natin lahat and we still have to do so much pa with film. We're still exploring, we're still learning then. Yeah, film is a part of us.
Learning and exploring, it's a never-ending thing. Even when we're 60s or 80s.
Exactly.
Even when we're like 80 plus years old, we're still learning do film, how to go with the times.
Like we're not gonna stop. We wouldn't know if our style would change or we want to do, let's say with you, more than production design. Actually did more than production design. The start of quarantine, which is editing. And as for me, I want to explore more on camera work. Hindi tayo stagnant with film. We're doing so much stuff.
Also, I want to add, what I like about film, and it's universal, is the storytelling. Through storytelling, through poems, through writing, through painting. You can apply what you learn in film in every aspect of art or your life. Even the Bible, it's storytelling.
Yeah. It is. Mm.
Yeah.
And everything that a film offers, it's always based on something. There are films nga about the Bible or about Jesus, the history, a lot of history films, always spiraling, even if we're focused on the future. Ang daming throwback films or throwback genres that would still be shown today.
Stories are always about something changing, something being changed.
Development, yeah.
Development lagi. It's always about, hindi naman lagi, pero there's always an unfortunate event happening that changes that makes the film run, diba? Same with stories in the Bible or books.
Yeah.
There's always something that happens in the character
Not
that
the same.
changes them.
As a filmmaker, besides watching the film, do you analyze each film you watch?
Yeah, when I watch a film at first, I don't allow the technicalities. Well, I just let myself be absorbed by the film. That when I first watch something and when I really appreciate something, like I'm really into the film and the scoring like pulls me in more, or parang yung cinematography really like draws me in more to the story. I appreciate it. I don't think about it too much. I'm not like very like, oh, ang pangit nito. I'm just allowing myself to be absorbed by the story, by the film. Siguro sa second watch, sa second run, that's when I go more into detail. Yeah. How about you?
I think for me it's different because since I started watching films younger, I think I've always wanted to just get the background or why is the film like this? And then I just question it. But hindi siya yung parang overthink. It's more of curiosity and continuous want of knowing what is the film trying to say, what is it trying to give us as the audience. And from there, as I'm watching the film, I'm already analyzing it, but hindi yung sobrang super technical. I think it's just more of observing what's going to happen next, how we react to films. So I think that's how I am when I analyze films. I appreciate films, like all sorts, and I don't just judge it basta-basta. I know na all directors are different and
Mhm.
everyone's treatment is different, so we have to respect that din. Na-appreciate ko din yung cinematography, yung scoring, lahat. Lalo na if super unique or it's a film I haven't watched, but then alam mo, why is it so good even if it's the symbols or underlying messages na you don't understand but you want to know more about them.
Insert ko lang, si Blue ganyan din. Very into reading about it while
Yes.
we're watching the film or after. Yeah, yung research, more on parang, ooh.
So doon na research, like weeks research and just finding the puzzle or, oh, that's why it ended like that.
What's your favorite films of 2020?
I don't think it's a favorite. I think it's just very comforting what her films are. So Lady Bird and Little Women, it hits home for me when I watched those films back in 2020. It's so personal. So it really touches upon families and sibling love, mother-daughter relationship with Lady Bird. How about you? What's your favorite film or films of 2020?
I remember it, but I don't remember the title. Grabe.
Ano, describe. Hopefully hindi spoilers.
I hope you can help me, Dre. It's about these kids who live near Disneyland, Orlando, Florida. Yeah.
Florida Project.
Florida Project, that's it. It's one of my favorite films that I watched 2020 because the influence on me, kasi I love stories about kids. I love getting into the root of our childhoods kasi that's where everything comes out. That's where we became who we are because of our childhood. I love watching it and watching how the kids go through this journey of being kids but being stuck in this hard in a hard place. It's not just my thesis, but the way I write or the way I think about stories, it's very about childhood, how we became who we are.
How about 2021? Do you have any favorite films so far?
Ikaw, do you?
I shared this to you. Ang cute kasi, Soul. So, tagal ko na last nakapanood ng Disney film. It's about pure passion. That's it, that film.
Yeah.
About life in general. And it's so refreshing to watch a film like that. And then I got emotional in the end because I think I haven't been as emotional with any film. It really touches upon all of our lives. I think if hindi film sa'yo, maybe a series.
Yeah,
Because
series.
films, yeah.
I have one actually. Yung The Chosen. I think I've talked to you about it. It's a series about Jesus, but it's not like the typical, like, very old school. It's so modern. Alam mo ba yung intro na is R&B song? Like, very hip. Tapos, ang ganda ng graphics. The story, it's not about how good Jesus is or how good the other people are. It's really how human they are. It's a typical series na it's very character-driven. It just so happens na it's about characters in the Bible. Nakakaiyak siya, like I was sobbing. You know, in the Bible, when you're reading it, you relate to it. Kasi it's all about struggles of humans and how we cope. Yung mga pag natatapilok tayo, mga ganon. It's so nice. I relate to it so much. Merong scene doon na si Simon Peter was screaming to God, Why? Why are you doing this to me? Where are you? You're nowhere. Ganon. Biglang Jesus was there and then ang dami nilang fish sa net nila. They just like put the net in, tapos biglang ang dami, ang saya-saya nila. Tapos the scoring is so good. You know, the scoring, the production design, cinematography, and the direction, it's so good in The Chosen. You don't even think about the technicalities. You just get pulled in talaga. Yun.
Yes, now I want to watch it. I think I'm going to watch it soon. Thank you for the introduction. So, we were touching up on, well, we were slightly talking about storytelling. Do you think storytelling is hard?
It's not hard at all. In our everyday life, where there's already a storytelling.
We're telling stories.
Machika tayo, di ba, mga Filipino? We like to be like, ooh, ito nangyari dito sa taong to, mga tita natin.
Specific pa.
How about you? Is storytelling hard?
In terms of making cuento or how stories are created, no, I don't think it's hard. But if it's about creating your thesis, creating like from nothing, then prod, then the actual film, there's a whole ass process for that. But yeah, like we make stories on a daily basis. Nasa atin na yun, na stories are part of our life. Stories always happen. Stories are endless. just as films are. But when it comes to like
Technicality.
it's a challenge because you really have to be specific. You have to be patient, I guess. Just don't pressure yourself too much when it comes to really learning the process or going through the process of storytelling.
Yeah, to add, the process and the storytelling. I mean, they're connected, but yeah, the process is so hard. It's a struggle, especially when you're pleasing other people. I'm not saying that film is easy because it's very hard. Film is very hard. Making films is super hard. It's just storytelling is easy because in terms of like creating stories in your head, but then the technicalities of once you start making it into a film, writing it into a script, that's where it gets hard.
You don't just make a film because na-feel mo lang unless you're really passionate about the story you made that you wanted to come to life, which is a film.
So, Dre, why is film your major in college? Why did you choose it? There's so many majors to choose from. Why film?
I've always been a fan of films. It intrigued me na rin at a young age when I was, 14, 15. And I had a few classes that were in line with film. I had multimedia arts, media literacy, I think. Yung teacher ko pa, he's a director and he's also a PD, Sir Nestor. Maybe it started there talaga. Since then, I just started making films even if I didn't know what I was doing. It was so nice na at the end of the day, you've done like a shoot, you've done the post and you present it and then you get, not that I'm saying just the good feedback, diba na yung focus, but you get feedback, review mo, papag-aralan mo. I missed out on this. I wanted to pursue film then, even if I was supposed to be somewhere else. That was the pressure then for me before pursuing film. Sa background ng family ko, straight up med. You're passionate about something, hindi mo hahayaan. Because what if you didn't take that chance? What if you didn't push? It also happens to a lot of students na at first, ilang years na they try something, but then they realize na last minute, hindi pala ito yung gusto ko, so I'll shift. It's a sacrifice then, of course, because this is what we chose. This is what I chose. How about you, Burns? Why film?
I started in theater talaga. My high school was Tucson Magnet High School. So it was a magnet for science and theater, basically. It was very acclaimed for being a theater school. And I was really into it. I really wanted to be an actor in all this. But then I got into film acting. And through film acting, we were connected with the film students. We would act for the film students. And there was this one project where I had to edit my own. From there, I want to do film. I still like acting. Actually, I love acting, and that's one of my dreams. Or, it's like one of those dreams that you want to do. Either way, even if I don't end up with film after this, I'm into the major of storytelling. I love creating stories. One day, I hope that I can act. Kasi it's one of my, parang what my heart wants to do.
I don't think we're just limited to what we know so far in film.
I think I would have ended up in theater. Because I remember when I first got here to the Philippines, I wanted to go to a theater school because I missed that feeling of doing theater. But then it's too far, so there wasn't enough time. So I just never ended up doing it. I feel like if I did it, I would have like continued with it. Okay, next question. Do you have anything to share to other film lovers or people that love films?
I think I want to speak first students, young adults who just graduated. If you love films in general, if you're really passionate about arts, if you want to express yourself, go ahead. If we feel like creating content, if we feel like sharing something, we're sharing it now. You're just going to share what you do. You're just going to share your skills, if it's graphic design, if it's multimedia arts, or if it's filmmaking, go for it. No one's stopping you. I'm sure a lot of your friends or your family even would appreciate seeing your work, like your personal work. That's what I did in high school na. As much as I wanted to pursue what's also in line with my family, it's not what was really rooted in me because film is really what I want. And what I still want now. I'm so excited, after college and if I end up anytime soon abroad to intern or work there. I just don't want to limit myself and I don't want to hold anything back when it comes to arts, films.
What I want to share to everyone in general, I guess, is to not be afraid. I always look at college as whatever you take in college, there's a 60% chance you're not gonna end up with it as a career. Still, you took it because you learned something from it, and then you used what you learned for your career. I took film with the idea na doesn't matter what I'm gonna do as a job or as a career after, because I love storytelling and I want to learn more about it. And if I take that and maybe I can use it to another career, I think kasi we have this perception in the Philippines na whatever we do in college, we have to go in that straight line. And even as adults, I see it in other people, in other adults na they feel so restricted na they're scared to jump out or
Yeah.
to go to a different lane. There's not a perfect life where you're gonna be sad if you just do it just because that's what you chose when you were a kid. If you're like 30s or 40s or 50s and you want to do something else, go to it.
Yeah,
That's it.
and to add on to what you said, don't be pressured with what the world is showing, what the world is offering, what your heart desires, what God desires for you. That's what you should listen to, not because you're forced to do this. Oh, I'll do this because I was pressured to. That's a trap. Really think about it, but not overthink. Take some time to know where you're gonna end up in. Not like future wise, if it's about marriage and all that. It's more of how you're gonna start your future, how you're gonna plan ahead. If we start with film, we don't know yet what's next. If we're still gonna pursue it or what, but we know we're still gonna do it somehow after college.
Sometimes we want something, but God tells us another thing. And it's up to you if you'd rather choose your own instincts and what you want or what you thought you want or what you think is what you want compared to what God is showing you that this is what you want. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Make Room For with Andrea and Bernice. If you have any comments or suggestions, message us. We want to talk and interact with everyone, and maybe in the future we can do a Q&A with whatever people want to ask.
Again, thank you so much for tuning in and watching, listening, wherever you are right now. If you're at home or if you're working outside, if you're driving, we hope that you learned at least some knowledge on film and on our personal lives again. So if you want to stay connected with us, you can check out our social media platforms. We're available on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok even. And till then, we bid you goodbye. Thank you. See you again.